Hi guys, John the firearms instructor, and I want to congratulate you right now. I want to congratulate you because your pistol brace that's in the closet, hidden from out of sight from everybody, worrying in regards if you're going to go to jail for having it, you don't have to worry about that anymore. In my hand is the ruling from the judge, and the judge has laid a stay and called the rule in its entirety unconstitutional. And he has kicked it out. And he did so when they did the ruling to begin with, it was challenged by a manufacturer, it was challenged by two individuals, it was challenged by a couple of gun organizations, and they all got stays. They all got stays. But if you weren't a member of that organization, or you weren't a member of that business, or you weren't those two individuals, the rest of us were all screwed. They weren't looking at us. Well, the judge looked at it and said, you can't do this, man. You're not making a law to begin with. And you can't put 40 million people in prison for having something that was legal. Remember, the ATF many years ago, I think it was 9 years and 10 years ago, they had this ruling up. The guy who built these braces were building them for the military guys that lost arms that were able to help them shoot a pistol. Shoot an AR pistol. When they did that, they laid it out, they put it all together, and at the end of it, it became something that the ATF was shown this, and they agreed that it was not a problem. And the braces actually came with a little letter that said, this is legal, there's no issue. And as they get further and further along, they challenged it a couple times, but then it went away, and they challenged it a couple times. Well, we had that shooting where the guy used a brace pistol. And all of a sudden, Uncle Joe wanted to get these braces off the rules, and instead of trying to push it through a law, he told the ATF make a rule. And a rule and a law are two different things. ATF can make rules all they want, but they can't make laws. They're not funded to make laws. They can't make laws. So they put this rule in. And the ruling was that if you had a pistol brace and you bought it legally with your money, and it was not a problem at the time, and now the ATF sees it as a problem, they weren't grandfathered in other words. So if you had a pistol brace, which they were very popular, they're all over the place, you either had to do three things. You had to destroy the weapon. You had to take the brace off and make it to a point where it could not go back on the weapon at all, or you had to file for a amnesty tax stamp, and they were going to give free tax stamps away for the first 120 days. After the 120 days, if you did not follow their procedures the way they wanted you to do it, you at that point in time were a felon because you owned a short barrel rifle, which they considered a short barrel rifle, which is ridiculous. But they considered a short barrel rifle, and you did not have a tax stamp. A short barrel rifle is anything with a barrel under 16 inches with a stock on it. Well, the brace is not a stock. It was supposed to be attached to your arm. Some people did shoulder them once in a while. But the idea of that is they considered that brace making it easier for you to shoulder it and look through your sight system, and they considered it a rifle. And they changed the actual verbiage of the law to put braces, a brace makes it a rifle, which, it's a piece of pin in the paper. But they did that. And it went up in front, and it was there, and it was challenged multiple times, and multiple times it was passing. People were freaking out. But I didn't see a ton of people filling out for free tax stamps because that becomes a whole other deal. We live in Florida. There is no gun registration. Tax stamp would be registered. There's a lot of little caveats when you have a short barrel rifle. You can't leave the county. You can't have your family shoot it. They can't carry it around the house. If you're on a trust, it's a different story. Everyone in the trust has to be there. But it becomes such a more of a challenge for you when you have a short barrel rifle. Short barrel rifle with a tax stamp can't leave the state you're in. You can't travel with a short barrel rifle. You can't travel with a brace gun. You could travel anywhere where you wanted to. So they put a real burden on you when you do have a brace. And by the way, in Florida, that would be registered, and they would know what you have at that point in time. So, nothing wrong with having a short barrel rifle, guys. If that's what you want, you are able to do it, your paperwork, but you can't be forced to do it. And what they're doing is they're taking 40 million people and making them felons because they didn't fill out a little piece of paper, which legally they bought it as a pistol. It is manufactured as a pistol, but they consider it a rifle because it had a brace on it, which is somewhat silly. You know what I mean? The brace makes the gun dangerous. The brace makes the gun going to go do what it needs to do. It doesn't, guys. It just makes it easier for somebody who has a challenge of shooting a gun, maybe the weight of it or anything else, can't do it. So, and that being said, yesterday in the courts, the judge came out and Matthew J. Kacsmaryk, a United States District Judge, and he talked about the ATF ruling was over public safety in the wake of the mass shootings. The ruling embodies the policies that's meant to protect vulnerable people in our society. But public safety concerns must be addressed in a lawful way. He already said ATF can't make laws. And then he says in a very four words, this rule is not. In other words, he said public safety must be, the concern must be addressed in a lawful method, and this rule is not. Period. Conclusion. From the foregoing reason, the court grants the motion and stay in this rule in its entirety. That's the magic word, guys. Remember, I told you the manufacturer was protected. The two guys that sued in Texas court system were protected. The members of the certain shooting association were protected because they were attached to this law, but everyone else was pretty much screwed. This opens up for the whole United States. So congratulations. You know that brace that you put up in the attic? You can get it back down now. It's going to be challenged by the ATF. We know that. But at the end, it's going to be very hard for them to go backwards. I honestly don't think they thought they were going to pass this. They just thought if they put out the little carrot of free tax stamp that people would do it. And honestly, I think I read something and it was like 1.1% people took advantage of the tax stamp. So you think about that. We won one. The ATF lost. And this is a beautiful thing for us because we need our Second Amendment rights and we need protected. That's why you need to be members of all these, the GOA and the NRA and all these shooting places, because they are fighting for us every day. Don't forget to call your congressman. That's what happens here is we bitch and moan and complain and scream and holler. And they've had many, many, many of these Congress up there fighting over how silly this rule was. And them standing there broad-chested saying, nope, 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 nope. Well, guess what? Thank you, Judge. The rule is a stay, and it's in its entirety, which means we're protected. Everyone's protected now, not just the people who sued in Texas. So there we go. I thought they'd get this to you because it happened yesterday, and we're going to get this to you, get your information out there. There's other people out there that probably have more information than that, but at the end of it, it's something that I want to make sure that you have the full rules, so that rule itself will be attached to our link down below, so you'll be able to read it. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. If you find any value in what we do here, guys, don't forget to hit the bell icon, the subscribe, and the like button. And every time we upload a video, you'll be the first to know. I love you guys.